amphibolic pathway. Generally, respiration is it is considered as catabolic process. It is a destructive process. Destructive process or method. Here, in respiration, glucose is completely degraded into carbon dioxide and water. But sometimes the glucose is converting into different components. These components are also involving in the synthesis of other components. So not only catabolic process, here some intermediate components are involving in the synthesis of other compounds. That's why here some anabolic reactions. Here, in addition to catabolic reaction, here anabolic reactions are also taking place. Means synthesis or constructive reactions are also taking place. Here if you see here different substrates. Here carbohydrates, it is a common respiratory substrate, and fats, proteins. Here carbohydrates generally they are converted into glucose, and glucose is converting into glucose 6-phosphate, fructose 6-phosphate, fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. It is fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, and the fructose 1,6-bisphosphate it is split into dihydroxyacetone phosphate and phosphoglyceraldehyde, and after some reactions here it is converting into pyruvic acid. So in glycolysis the end product is pyruvic acid. Next it is converting into acetyl coenzyme A, and the next Krebs cycle. So it is aerobic respiration. So when glucose is completely oxidized, here carbon dioxide and water are formed. But sometimes the intermediate products, here intermediate products they are involving in the synthesis of other components. Sometimes here the fats and proteins they are not involving in the aerobic respiration directly, but before entering into the respiratory pathway, they are converting into fatty acids and glycerol. Fats are converting into fatty acid and glycerol. So after the conversion, the fatty acids are entering into the respiratory pathway into acetyl coenzyme A. So fatty acids are changing into acetyl coenzyme A. So after the conversion of fatty acid into acetyl coenzyme A, the remaining reactions are taking place. So the fats or fatty acids are involving in the respiration, or they are entering into the respiratory pathway in this step. So at this point the fatty acids are entering, and whenever the organism or the cell needs fatty acids again, here from the respiratory pathway the acetyl coenzyme A it is withdrawn. So this acetyl coenzyme A is involving in the synthesis of fatty acid. So the fats are converting into fatty acids and glycerol. Next the fatty acids are converting into acetyl coenzyme A. Then here the completely reactions are taking place. But whenever the cell needs or organism needs fatty acids, from the respiratory pathway the acetyl coenzyme A is withdrawn, and it is involving in the synthesis of fatty acids in reverse. So it is, if it is involving in the if it is converting into acetyl coenzyme A, it is a catabolic process. But when the acetyl coenzyme A is involving in the synthesis of fatty acids in reverse, it is anabolic reaction or constructive reaction. So in addition to completely this pathway is catabolic, but sometimes some components are involving in the synthesis of other components. They are synthetic reactions or constructive reactions. In the same way, a glycerol also. A glycerol is involving in the, it is first it converts into dihydroxyacetone phosphate, and next it is converting into phosphoglyceraldehyde. So the fats are glycerols are converting into phosphoglyceraldehyde. Then they are involving in the aerobic respiration pathway. So next proteins. Here proteins are also here acting as respiratory substrates. So proteins are digested by protease enzymes, and after the digestion they are converting into different components. Here by deamination process or method, here the proteins are they split into amino acid. or they are converting into simple molecules, amino acids. So these amino acids are converting, or the amino acids are involving in the respiratory pathway, or here amino acids enter in different points. Sometimes some amino acid enter at this point, are converting into pyruvic acids. Sometimes some amino acids are entering into respiratory pathway at this step, acetyl coenzyme A, or sometimes amino acids are entering into the Krebs cycle directly. So here in different steps they are involving. Here amino acids are here. After the digestion of proteins by protease enzyme, amino acids are formed. These amino acids are entering the respiratory pathway at this point or the Krebs cycle. So here sometimes here these components, pyruvic acid or acetyl coenzyme A, are different components like alpha ketoglutaric acid. So they are involving in the synthesis of some other amino acids. So here respiratory pathway or aerobic respiration, it is not only catabolic process. Here in the respiratory pathway, some components are here withdrawn, or they are involving in the synthesis of other components. So it is also here considered as a anabolic process. So in the aerobic respiration, not only catabolic reactions, here anabolic reactions are also taking place. So here, as both catabolic and anabolic reactions are taking place, the respiratory pathway or aerobic respiratory pathway, it is considered as amphibolic pathway. Amphi means two types of reactions: anabolic, catabolic. Anabolic constructive reactions, catabolic destructive reactions. Both reactions are taking place in the aerobic respiratory pathway. So it is one amphibolic pathway.